Hey friends, Adam here. Today I'm looking at a run out sent to me from my good friend Trevor. You've seen Trevor on the channel before. I'll put a link to one of the videos that he has commentated on. In fact, we're doing more commentary this week for the end or near the end of the BS League. See a playlist for that up there as well. He gave me this layout. He got this in a league match the other day. This is 9-ball. We have ball in hand, and it's the 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that right? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the table. Don't know if maybe this is off the break, although all these balls up here make me seem that something else happened before, but that's irrelevant. This is the shot we have in the position that we have. Now the obvious issue here is this 5 and 8 ball. It looks pretty obvious that you can do the combo. Just play the 5 right into the 8. And I think other people, so we're gonna ignore the 4 ball because in every rack of 9 ball or rotation pool, and this is more prevalent in rotation than it is in 8 ball, for every rack you're gonna have one shot that's like your key shot. You'll hear the pro announcers all the time say, well, he has to worry about getting from the 5 to the 6 or the 8 to the 9, you know, something like that. In this rack, the 5 and the 8 is the key problem. So what we have to do is first figure out, and what I do in situations like this is I go in my head. Now I'm gonna actually play this out, but I go in my head and I work out what's the best shot for this scenario, for how do I deal with the 5 and 8? And then I figure out, okay, how do I get to that position from the 4 ball? So I'm gonna start with just the 5 and 8 ball. And a lot of you may say, hey Adam, this looks pretty easy. I just roll the 5 right into the 8 and then play the 5. Okay, let's try that. Now I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, hopefully. It will not be in the way of the camera. But even if I roll this slowly, the 5 comes off the rail and now I don't have a shot. There's no bank here. It's just, you might as well just give ball and hand back to your opponent. And sure, you could play safe from there, but that's not the whole point of this. So you have to do something to get the 5 off of the 8. The 8 is stuck, and I would have or should have put a picture of the aerial view of me trying not to hurt myself on my stepladder here. The 8 is like on the point. I don't know if it was actually in the pocket. Trevor sent me a screenshot of him setting this shot up afterwards on a website. But any way you hit into this 8 ball from the 5 is gonna go this way. So what that means is I want my cue ball to go that way. So let's try from about here. Just gonna play like top with a little bit of right spin. I want the cue ball to come off the rail, the 5 to do what it did before, and I want the cue ball to get in a spot I can make the 5. That is perfect. And then from here, 1 rail out to the 6, the rest of it. So that is the angle that I need. About there. Maybe even a little closer. So what I'm gonna do, another one of these sticker things. By the way, these are great. I don't know if you can see this. It's a sheet. I'll put it right up to the camera. I don't know if the light will let me see it or whatever. These are like paper reinforcement stickers, but they're actually made for pool. I talk about them in my shooting system video, which I'll put a link above if you haven't seen that. That one's been blowing up the channel. I want to mark kind of where I want to get the cue ball. This sticker, okay, there we go. Let me shoot this one more time just to make sure this is the actual angle I want. I think it is. Focus on hitting the rail and getting the cue ball down. Yep, so that's it. So I need to get as close to this dot as possible from the 4 ball. The rest of the rack is just kind of position play. We'll look at that in a second. But I need to get from the 4 ball to that dot. And there are a couple different ways I could do it. I could put the cue ball out here and draw back. I could put cue ball over here and draw back. I could put the cue ball here and kind of stun over. I like going forward on ball and hand shots. You tend to get more control, and you don't have to worry about bouncing off rails or stun or any of that stuff that may, if you're in a nervy situation, it may not come up the best. If you overdraw something, you're gonna be like, you could wind up way over here and just have nothing. So I like to follow these, just a straight top ball, and it's all speed control. You have to know the table. I don't know if this is a shot I wanna take my first turn up to the table. And you gotta learn these angles of how to get from ball in hand to a position. What you can do for that, there's a drill called the wagon wheel drill. Look that up on YouTube. It's not on my channel, but it's essentially making the ball and then having balls, which I don't have anymore, on the rails like this. And as you make a spot shot, trying to get your cue ball to hit each one of these balls. Very good drill for speed control and direction from ball and hand off, from the cue ball. So I'm shooting this straight top. It's all speed control. I'm trying to land right on that dot. I'm not expecting to land on it, but that's my target. That's pretty good. As you can see, I'm a ball away from it. Maybe a ball and a half. About a ball and a half away from it. But this angle should do. So now again, I'm more focused on hitting the rail with the cue ball. I know the 5 is gonna go into the 8. I wanna get that cue ball to bounce down. Little straight. It would have been ideal for the 5 to come out another ball width here. Let's see what we gotta do here. I really don't want to try to draw this through here. I even don't want to draw it back to here because I'm getting on the 7 is hard. So I want to try to come out here, out to the middle of the table-ish is good here. And I have to use a lot of left spin, kind of stun this to the rail. So it's almost like a stun forward with left. Like that. Now here I can get almost anywhere again. I think I'm gonna go for middle of the table. In rotation, if you don't know where to go, middle of the table is gonna be your answer a big percentage of the time. So this I'm gonna play a little bit low right. There's a couple different ways I could do it. I could play just straight low or kind of center ball low and come back and forth. Doing this, I'm gonna try to come out and up. And yeah, I came a little too far. This is now making this very, very difficult. It's almost like a scramble drill. I gotta try to cut this in the corner, and don't worry, I'm gonna do this again. We'll see if we can get it better. And I'm just gonna play like natural rolling ball with some right spin. Come out 2 rails to the center again, and I have a tough 9 ball. I don't know how the 9 got up there. Unless I have this backwards, which is possible. We'll play the 9 in the upper left, or upper right corner, sorry, with some left spin. So that was the hard way to do it, and I think I scratched here. So that was the hard way to do this rack. Let's try it again. A little bit better on the ball in hand position with the 5, or with the 4. Would have made this a little bit easier. But I can tell why Trevor sent this to me, because this is not a straightforward run out at all. All right, so we'll try this again. I should have marked where I started the cue ball. That's okay. Now in a lot of situations when I'm going forward, I like to play off a rail. So I'm wondering if maybe I can play off the rail, end up a little bit here, but the speed is gonna be a little different. So I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try playing, this is still just top, and just come right off the rail and out. And try to maintain that same angle I had before. And it's close. You can see the line between the 1 and the Q, it's close to that line. The issue that I have is because I'm not as close and I have a little bit more angle is hitting the 7. I do not want to hit the 7 when I hit the 5 past the 8. The other issue is because I'm having to hit it harder because it's farther away, that 5 may lose, I may lose the 5. This is really good though. This is more of a natural angle that I wanted than the 6. So where do I want to be on, or natural angle on the 5 to get to the 6? If I was in this line, but even closer here, in this area, that would be really good. So I'm looking for past center of the table position here. I'm playing this with top and a hint of left to kind of open that angle up so I don't go right into the 7. This is gonna sit pretty good. This is gonna sit really good. Now I can kind of pinch draw this off the rail. I'm using low right. It's gonna come off the rail and just out here. Almost any angle on the 7 is gonna be fine. Even straight in be fine because it's almost a stop shot to get to the 9. So I'm using my shooting system. If you haven't seen that video and I haven't talked about it already, see the link above. Gotta really bear down on this. I'm not lined up, so I'm getting back up and starting over. This will be fine. I'm a little bit on the left side of the pocket line. So if I draw a line from the 7 straight through, I'm on this side of it a little bit, which means the cue ball is gonna go this way. I can shoot this a couple different ways. I could draw back and try to get past the 9. Nah, I don't recommend that. I could stun it and go here, here, and out. A little bit less of an angle. If I had a little bit more, if I was here, that shot would be really good. So now I'm gonna play top inside, which is left spin, about 11-ish on the cue ball. And it's gonna come out to the top rail, the side rail, and out for the 9. And then the 9, just a little bit of a cut. This is just straight top ball, but not really a follow, just a rolling ball. Let's do one more. I kind of like the idea of coming off the rail. Instead of hitting for this dot now, you know what, I'll replace that dot after I get the ball set up. This one's really stuck there. Getting more like here, maybe. Yeah, these donut stickers are really nice because you're never gonna get that great of that perfect of a layout without them. You can be a little bit close, but you can't get perfect. You can put a little bit of right spin on this to get the angle cut off just a little bit closer to the 5. Okay, so I put the sticker in a completely wrong place, but that's okay. I have a little bit more angle. So again, I have to watch out for the 7. And I want to hit the 7 ball coming off this rail. So I have to use top inside. It's about 2 o'clock on the cue ball. The 5 hit the 8 a little full, but I am a little bit further down. I'm not straight in. Now the issue here is that depending on how slidey the balls and the cloth are, you may not get the top spin to take off this rail. You may have to force it more because the 5 is so close to the rail as it is. So I'm gonna use more left, less top. So almost like a 9 o'clock cue ball. And now we're basically in line with what we had before. What I will try to do is I want to aim now. This is our pocket line. I want to get, you know what? In fact, if I got where the cue ball was, that would be good. There's a lot of drills that are a lot of situations in rotation where if you get the cue ball to where it is right now, like if I play the 6, try to get back where it is right now, it's a really good position. I'm not gonna be able to get it exact, but aiming in this line, trying to get it back there. So this is low right. This is gonna be like 4, almost 5 o'clock on the cue ball. That's pretty good. Now, there's a couple ways to play this. You can play at one rail with straight top and come up here and out here. The problem with that, and if you've done it before, you have a chance of coming way out here. I've seen people play this with inside spin and they come way out here. What I like to do is I like to play this with upper right, which is going to be about 1 to 2 o'clock on the cue ball, and come 1 and 2 and bounce out. I don't want to land on this rail over here. I want it to come out a little bit. Just like that. And now I have a little bit of a cut on the 9. It was never going to be, it would be nice to have straight in 9-ball shots all the time. I am bridging a little bit weird over this pocket, as you can see, but this is just center ball. There we have it. So there's a couple different ways to play this, but the key is the 5-8 combo has to go. So let me know what you think of this. This is primarily for Trevor's benefit, but I figured why not set up like a real life example. This actually did happen in a game somewhere in Texas over the last week or so. So anyway, let me know what you think. Leave a comment. How would you play this? Would you play ball in hand from here? Would you play ball in hand over here? Anywhere else, let me know what pattern you would play. Any questions, let me know. Otherwise, do the YouTube stuff, like, comment, subscribe, and that stuff, and we'll see you in the next one.